Hello everybody, this is Angel, Angel's Artography, Craft and Digital Design, and today I'm going to be starting my very first frog. I have never done a frog before, so right now I just did something real quick before off camera because I need to let this dry, and it's pretty simple. I just got some clear resin. I found these beads that has such small holes that you really can't work with them in jewelry making. So I was actually going to throw them away. I thought these would be kind of cute for their little toes. So I'm going to use these for the toes. And right now we'll let that cure, and then we'll get started on the full frog. So stay tuned. Alright, I am back real quick. And right now I'm just going to add the eyes. I have not done this before. I've got my UV resin, and I'm going to put that inside of there. Actually, I already did. I put some UV resin inside where the eye sockets are. And then I'm going to put these I got these dragon eyes, a whole bag of them. So I'm just going to use these for frog eyes off of Amazon. Got so many different sizes. I'm not quite sure. This is about a medium size. That's small, that's really large. So I'm going to do some green. And let me get some tweezers. I do not touch UV resin whatsoever anymore. I had a very bad reaction last time I got some on my hands. So I'm just going to put that in there. I just hope the eyes will be even. I can't really see. Now there's a white piece of paper back there. I believe that might be a sticker, but I could not get it off, so I'm just going to leave it. So I hope I got them in right. I'm also working on some flamingo coasters. I have my daughter-in-law to be. I got these flamingos for her birthday, and I just put, these are coasters, so I just put pink in there, and then I'll put clear, and then I'll put these, but that will be a little bit later. So I got those in there. Here's my UV light. I'm just going to put that, let's see, make sure this is even, right about there. And here we go. So I'm just going to do this, and then I will be ending this video right now. I'm just trying to do small steps, stuff that you could probably already figure out on your own, how to do the clear resin, like the toes, and then you add the toes, little beads in there. This is my first frog. I'm watching a lot of Facebook posts, and I kind of have been reading on how they've been doing their eyes and stuff like that. The first time I did use these eyes, I used them on a turtle, but I did the UV resin on the outside and added the eyes. So I'm doing something a little bit different here. So I'm going to go on this side, and I'll probably go get my Let's Resin UV Cure and cover the whole thing. For now, I'm just trying to get it tacked down with this light. This UV Resin Cure, I'm just going to take the top off, so I don't need the bottom. I'm kind of doing everything backwards right now. There we go. Now that should work a little bit better than this light. This is just a little temporary hold light. Just to get it in there. So I'm going to put this I'll put it on 3 minutes, and then hopefully it will stay. Alright, so the next step I will be filling him in. I may do a couple layers. I was thinking of doing some chameleon powders, which I have not used before, or haven't seen the results for. I just started using them in these skulls over here. I have some skulls over there. I put some chameleon powders in, pink, so I'm going to use some green for here. But I do not know what they actually look like except for what I've seen on Facebook. And they come in these little tiny jars. I thought it would be a lot more, so I'm kind of not happy with how small the jars are. So I'm going to use this mint green in this frog. I think that would be pretty. Thinking about it as I go. Alright. Hello, I'm back. And I've got my toes in. I've got my eyes in. And I thought about putting a sunflower and then pouring green on top. So right now, I'm just going to do the sunflower. I've already mixed up some clear resin. It's been sitting for a little while, so it's getting a little bit warm. So I'm just going to put some clear, just a little bit for the flower so it can stick. Put it upside down. And I'm trying to get it all flattened, so when I pour the green over, it's not going to go up underneath the flower. So I'm pushing everything down, making sure I'm wearing gloves. I cannot wait to get this little joker done. Like I said, it's my first frog. So this is an artificial sunflower. Thought I'd give it a try. Don't know if it's going to work. I know some people will put the stickers on and do them. But I'm just going to put the flower. Now, there is a little bit of stem sticking up, but I didn't want to cut that because then it would separate the flower from the middle. I'm trying to flatten this as much as I can. And then we're just going to let that sit for a good little while, probably overnight. And then I will put some green in there. I'm going to pour some a little bit back here. Seems to be headed towards its head. I don't want to put too much in its face because I want to get some green in there. All right. I might put a little bit more in the toes. I don't got much left, so. I didn't quite cover them up last time. All right. Just kind of flatten this as much as I can so the bubbles will release. So there won't be any bubbles underneath. I can see them popping as I pushing this down. And I've got these cool little sticks. I'm going to take off my gloves. I got actually from the grocery store. These are really awesome. So this is good for mixing down at the bottom, and this is good for poking. And they're at the Food Lion. They're little skewers, I guess. I've never seen skewers with this part on there. I'm trying to straighten my little flower out. Looks like he's going to be sticking up here. Okay. There we go. Getting the stem down. There we go. Sweet. Just keep pushing down on it to get the bubbles released. Don't know if this is going to work. I pray it does. This will be my first frog. I'm super excited. I think it might turn out pretty good. And I'm using the craft resin. I mixed it for 4 minutes. And then I put it in the bubble machine for 7 minutes to get it warm because my room's a little bit chilly. Not so bad today, but normally it's on the chilly side. But my resin isn't very warm. And I'm going to clean up these edges of this frog with a Q-tip, because I just kind of end up pouring on top of this, which I don't want to have to end up sanding. It's fine if it's on top, but on the edges is where you really need to get it off of there. You can peel it off once it's on the top, but if it's connected to the other resin, its feet, you're going to have a hard time sanding it off. Or I could use this little thing here. All right, we'll see you for the last step tomorrow. Hello everybody, good Sunday afternoon. We are back to finish filling in my frog. Super excited. Like I said, it's my first time doing this. So I'm thought of an idea of using some mint chameleon powders. I've got these off of Amazon. Let's Resin. They come in several colors and came with a little brush. I haven't used these for anything yet except for I just did these skulls. But I kind of mixed it with the resin. I think you're really meant to just paint it on. Maybe that's why there's such low amount in here. But we're going to wing it and see if I can just mix it with the resin. So I've already mixed my resin. I used 2 16-ounce cups and I only filled them about 3/4 of the way. And I have this much left. I can't put this in my bubble machine because the cup is too tall. So I do have my temperature reader and it needs to be about 72, I think it said. And this says 91, so it is getting warm. I can feel it, so it's definitely ready to go. I used a little bit of the resin to work on some other projects I was working on. I have some saved on the side for something else I'm working on, which I'll get to in another video. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and mix in this mint chameleon powder. And I'm just going to use, oops, that's not big enough. Got these little skewers, I think I already told you, out at the grocery store. So I'm going to put quite a bit in here so it's not too translucent. And I had an idea. I don't know what it's going to look like. But I thought these would look like little frog eggs. I'm not sure. These are just specialty glitters, recollections. It says clear, transparent. They're like little tiny, tiny small beads. So I'm going to pour them in here. And I thought maybe they look like little eggs. I don't know. We'll see. So we're going to mix this all together. And I don't know if that's going to be dark enough. Oh, I also cut off the end of this flower. It was very hard. It did have resin on it. So I took the scissors and I had to use 2 hands to close it up together to cut off the little stem, just so that's not showing too much. Hopefully this will cover it once I pour this in. So it is a little bit translucent than I want. So I think I'm going to add, well, no, I'm just going to keep stirring. Let's just keep stirring for a little bit. Because I do want to see the little eggs And I should be mixing a little bit slower just so I don't get more bubbles. This is warm enough to where a lot of bubbles disappeared. I am using the craft resin, which takes about 24 hours to cure. It's not very fast, but it does help with the bubbles. So I think this is really pretty. I thought about putting a little black alcohol ink in it, but let's see what we got. I don't want to get it too dark. Let's see. Got a little black glitter. Let's pour just to put a tap of black glitter. This is a little bit chunky glitter, so I'm just put a little bit. You don't want to put too much glitters or it will not cure properly. Just to give it a little bit of darkness. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and pour. Ooh. That's pretty cool. It looks like it has those little bumps on there like frogs do have with the black glitter. Look how that just pours right into the frog. Isn't that cool? I almost think I got too much. I got this much left. I'm just going to let it pour in there. Oh, there's a bubble popping. You see my flower sticking up. I'm going to have to push him down. See, look at all that bubbles. Push him down a little bit. Part of the stem was sticking up on that side. I knew I should have cut it, but I didn't. See, this is a little bit clearer too, where you can see the toes. I think if I did it too dark, you won't be able to see the toes. He's still popping up, so I might just have to sand him off. I don't want to mess with it too much. I'm going to turn this because it does seem to be, they do seem to tilt in. I guess that's how it's made, but it seems like it's running off of its toes. I like the colors though, honestly. I think this is going to be cool. Just let it sit for a minute. And I'm going to take this, make sure I get in each little crevice of the toes. I love these. These were at Food Lion. See how there's a bubble every time I push on that. See that bubble popping? That means it's getting up underneath that, so. And you can go along the edges, make sure you don't have any holes for with bubbles. From the bubbles, I should say. I find that with coasters that happens a lot. Yeah, so this little part isn't even filled all the way with its toes. I'm going to push this up. I glide along the edge. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I just need a little bit in the feet. So what I think I'm going to do, just so I don't overfill them, is pour a little bit in this little cup here. Looks like I'm going to have quite a bit left. Gotta find something else to make. Just to cover the toes, I like these because you can squeeze them. And they are washable. Just basically peel out the resin after it's cured. Get those toes right there. Ooh, I cannot wait to demold this tomorrow. I'm probably going to wait a little bit longer on this. Might wait more than 24 hours. So today it's about Sunday, about 3 o'clock. I'll probably wait till Monday after 5. So just a little bit more. Then I'm gonna have to find something to put this over. All right, I don't want to over pour. His fingers are getting fat. Kind of squeeze. I like to squeeze them to get in, sometimes in the crevices. Like, I know my hand molds, there's always 2 big air bubbles right where the wrists are every time. And it's actually very hard to get into. You have to use like a stick or something to get in there. I'm not having any more luck with my hand molds. I've made about 4 lately that I've had to throw away because of air pockets and stuff. So that's using the flag. So I might just do straight up hand mold with just a single color and see what happens with that without adding anything in it. So I'm not having too much luck with those. I'm getting a little frustrated. It's like my first one didn't work out. First one I had a heat flash. The second one worked out pretty good actually. But then after that, I just haven't had a good one come out. Alright, so I'm going to leave it at that. And then I will find something to put this in. I got quite a bit left. And then we will see you in about 30 some hours. All right, I'm back for step 5, and that is the final demolding. I am super nervous. I sure hope this turned out. I'm also super excited. I can see right now we're going to have the issue right here because the toes did overflow a little bit. So hopefully I can cut that somehow. All right, so let's try this. I'm not sure which way is best, if I want to do the feet and then the head. So let's try that. The head looks like it's going to be kind of hard. I wonder if I should put some spray. So I know you can use soapy water to demold things. So I'm just going to use some mold release and conditioner. So I'm just going to kind of spray it all over. And hopefully just get in the sides. Push it off to the sides. Let's see if I can get this off. This looks pretty stuck. Ooh, I got part of it off. Try not to wreck my toes. Oh, it's still a little tacky, so that was good. Just hope the frog isn't. It's been, I remember I said I was going to wait about 30 hours, so it has been, it's 5 o'clock, it was 3 o'clock, so it's been 26 hours. So here we go. This looks like it's, I don't know how to do this. I wonder if I should do it upside down. I don't know. I'm just going to start peeling around just slowly, so I'm not trying to break anything. Instead of trying to take one thing off at once, it will end up breaking the other. So I'm just going to loosen it all the way around. There's another piece. Oh, there's a big chunk right there. That came off of here. So try to get, oh, there's another one. So I overfilled it a little bit. So I'm just going to push down and get these off, these little chunks. So it's a good way to start. That way it's not attaching to your other resin. Oh, that one came out pretty good. Oh, goodness. This is... Some of these molds are difficult, but my turtle one was really difficult. Oh, look at the toes. All right, there's one toe. There's 2 toes. All right, let's just say arms, hands. So I wonder if you use gravity and do them upside down. Let's try that. All right, so what we got going on here? So we got his rear end. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. And I know some people look like they're really trying to do this on purpose. I'm not. I'm trying to get it as fast as I can. I know some videos you'll sit there and watch, the little shorts, and they'll be sitting there trying to pull the mold like it's what do you call it? Oh my gosh. Like it's, oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit in his head. Sunflower's a little bit dark, looks like. Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, he is adorable. Oh my goodness. Look at that. And these little black glitters that I used, let me see what they were. Actually, I forgot. I use, so now I don't know what's in here. Actually, it might be, it's just plain old black glitter. I use these when I have big bulks of glitter, but anyways, these are recyclable spice bottles. But look at him. Oh my goodness. And the little dots look like the little frog. What do they call those little bumps on the frog? Everything turned out really well. I got some areas right here I need to clean up with. I got a deburring tool, which is awesome. I can do that. Now I see an issue with the eyes. This is the first time I put UV resin. I see a dot like here. So I think I'm gonna have to fill that with UV resin. There's a little hole. Let me see if you can see that. There's a little hole in his eyes, but otherwise the eyes turned out pretty good. I got him straight like I wanted. I guess he's sleeping, if you can see. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. I'll have to get some pictures outside. Today we're having some type of storm, but look at the toes. The toes turned out pretty good with those beads I was gonna throw away. So look at, you can recycle beads that aren't gonna work for your beading projects. The holes were just too tiny for me to work with. And some of them didn't have holes. It was like a defective. Look at the sunflower. Oh my goodness. I need to put this on a white background so you can see better. Let's see what we got. Oh, he is so adorable. Look. Look, look, look. Is he not just adorable for my first time? And like I said, here are the little holes right here. I don't think that might be inside where I put the UV resin. So next time I think I'm just gonna use regular resin. But holy cow, is he adorable? I love the little black glitter I used in there. That is awesome. All right, I am going to go now. I will try to fix up his eyes with some UV resin and take some pretty pictures and use the deburring tool. And get in between his fingers where I had a little bit resin, but otherwise this is an awesome mold. It isn't too terribly hard to demold. You can use this mold release and conditioner or use some soap and water. Trust me, it helps not tear your molds up. So I have a lot of sharpening to do. I could fill this in. It looks like I could fill in the back. It's got a little indents in the toes. I could fill it up with some resin, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to sand it and see how that works. Because he's going to lay flat. Nobody's going to see it anyways. And you don't want it too bumpy because then it probably won't lay flat. So he is beautiful. I love him. And I hope to see you at the Farmville Dogwood Festival, April 24th through the 26th in Farmville, North Carolina. And don't forget the code word for a free $10 lanyard. There is a code word in one of my videos. So if you watch this all the way through, you're one up on everybody else, because you can go back and try to find that code word and get you a free $10 lanyard or keychain. Alright, thank you for watching, and you have a wonderful day.